Hey, everybody, we're doing a new thing. We're doing the rewind reel. So we picked this episode. We handpicked this episode because we thought that there was tremendous value. Check it out. Re-listen. It's always good to sharpen the what?
The rewind wheel. The brain, the sword. What? I love how you just were pre-dinging and you just dinged on through the start.
I gave the pre-ding.
The pre-ding.
Hello, Mr. Greg.
Hello, Mr. Jason.
Who do we have today as we do our...
I think that this deserves, we need to celebrate our wins. And I think that having this guest on the show, not once, but 2 times, not 3 times, my lady, only 2 times, but I think we will probably get him at some point for a third, is Mr. Garrett White, who created an entire movement called Wake Up Warrior. He has all kinds of different products. I mean, I bought the box thing. They sent this giant box with 1 million books and all kinds of stuff, which I still have to start combing through. But he has apps, and it's a movement really developed for men to by themselves and really lead a good life, a balanced life, all the good stuff. But he's passionate. He's been an insurance agent, and I just love the energy he brings. Some people may find him somewhat offensive, but what I love about him is that he doesn't care. Like, he lives his truth. He doesn't care. And he's real. He brings the heat.
Oh yeah. Yep. I love that about him. And cool backstory on this is we just spoke with somebody about this, but man, we really wanted to get him on the podcast. Now, yeah. Garrett is incredibly successful, and he has his own podcast. He has Warrior Wealth. He has all these things going on, multiple businesses, selling multiple 7 and 8 figures. And he doesn't have time to be on people's podcasts. The first time we got him, he said that it was at the end of the year before last. And he said that this is the only podcast that he did other than his own for the entire year. Now, what we did for this, we loved his stuff. So we knew his stuff going into it. We set up an email or, kind of a template of what we wanted to say to him. We sent that out to him, and man, we must have hit him up maybe 30 times with the back and forth with his assistant and everything. For the first interview and for the second interview. And it was just like prospecting the hardest client. Yeah. Right. So that's how we got him. And it was one of those things that we wanted him so bad to be on the podcast. And then when he finally did it, we were giddy like little school children. And yes. It went back and reflecting on that, it was just like prospecting for a client where we just didn't give up for, I mean, was it like 8 months before? Yeah. I mean,
and he kept pushing
at least
off.
8 months.
And there were so many excuses. Like we overcame many objections. I think the last one was like, it's not going to be till next year. And then, so it was like trying to push us out another year. And we rebutted, and it was because they were launching something new. Our rebuttal was, this is perfect. Great news. That's perfect. You can do the stack because you'll be able to launch it and get the help of getting out to so many agents. So with the 4,000 to 5,000 downloads, and yeah,
it almost became comical how many times we tried to overcome the objection.
Yeah,
it would just what an awesome dude. He even said at one point, he's like, "Man, you guys are the most persistent guys on the planet."
Yeah,
like
it's true.
That's awesome.
It's true.
So listen to this one. This is the second one, and wow.
Yeah.
No spoilers on this one. Just go into it. The passion, everything is incredible.
That is, I can't say it any better, Mr. Jason.
Let's dive in.
Let's go.
Buckle up. It's the Insurance Dudes Podcast.
The one, the only, Garrett J. White.
What's up, fellas? I'm excited to be back here with you guys and all the insurance agents who listen to your show, and all the advisors who listen to your show, and all of the individuals trying to figure out how to create a frame of certainty around leading and inspiring other people in one of the most important topics in their entire life, which is their money. So yeah, I'm excited to be back. Not a money guy, but I happen to talk about the money conversation better than about 99.9% of all insurance agents because I'm a marketer, I'm a closer, and I understand people. I don't get like fuck insurance products and make love to myself about how awesome my product is. I understand people. Right. So hopefully today we can have a little conversation about people because the product itself at the end of the day is powerful, but it's only as powerful the ability to talk to people.
Yeah, those relationships matter.
Yes. So you guys keep running the show here through the pandemic, huh?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, I don't know about your business, but we now the term is leaned into it, but we really did double down, triple down, and really went into the marketing as everybody exited from marketing and was like cowering in fear. Mm-hmm. And it's really paid off. I mean, we've grown some businesses that we're involved with through this. We've grown our agencies. We both opened a new location. So it's been something else.
Yeah, I think it created paralysis for everybody for a bit, for a day or 2 or 3 weeks, 2 weeks, whatever it was. Some people didn't recover from it. Some people did. Yeah, like our response to it, we had already started making moves in our businesses to just be super, super intense with our infrastructure and our technology online to be able to do what we do online. That makes it a little difficult in our salons, our hair salons. But even in that place, we've been able to find ways around that. But yeah, I would agree. Like everything that's going on right now, all the conditions right now, certainty's never been needed more than it is now. Taking a stand has never been needed more. So individuals who are willing to lean into that with advertising, with marketing, and with a message that actually connects with people amidst all the chaotic shit they're getting to consume all day, are going to win.
Well, I mean, I've listened to many of your podcasts, but one of the things that comes up a lot is excuses, right? We have all these excuses constantly. And here is the ultimate excuse, right? Like it's like the get out of jail. Hey, I'm not buying anything now because now I have the ultimate excuse, right? And if everybody's using it, what an opportunity, right? Yep. Everybody's hiding.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, that hiding conversation, the worst part is though, is the hiding's happening from a lot of people who should be leading. Right. You look at who listens to the show. Like it's not about an issue about the marketplace hiding. You know, people have been hiding. 3/4 of the United States of America hides all the fucking time.
Yeah,
they hide. They're constantly scared, constantly worried, constantly threatened, and that half of that percentage is trying to figure out whether or not they're socialist or capitalist. And whether they're going to hope for a handout and watch Netflix and binge on it all day, or whether or not they actually do something productive with their life. So if you look at the position advisor sits in a very unique situation. I think that there's ultimately 3 things that control a person's world, like more than anything: mindset, marketing, and money. And a person's psychology, the marketing or the content they consume, and how they deal with their money. Like if you are engaged in any of those 3 conversations with human beings, like you have massive leadership opportunity and massive, like people need to be led to that. They want to be led because most people are too fucking lazy. And the fact is most insurance agents are lazy as fuck.
Yeah.
So they just are. They're lazy as fuck. Like P&C guys, like life insurance guys are lazy as fuck with the way they deal with it. And hopefully you listen to the show, you're not one of those fuckheads that's so lazy that you don't actually see the opportunity for what it is.
Right. Or you can recognize that you are and dive in. But we didn't even introduce you. Garrett, we have some things that I'd like to run through just real quick because
you're like, who is this asshole?
Yeah, who is? He just love it. He just told us to fuck off. I mean, what?
So every major life insurance company in the Midwest with their sweaters and khaki pants have just literally got their panties in a knot. They're all, who let the devil into this podcast?
Right.
Trust me, khaki pants, plaid shirt guys, I'm on your team, man. I got you.
Yeah, 100%. And you have that experience. But like what I love, Garrett, and what we've loved about you is you wear your heart on your sleeve. The last time you were here, you mentioned you were going through a little rebirth of your business and working on a huge project. I'm sure we're going to get to that. Relationship struggles with the wife, sexual issues, politics, crazy world news, like all of this stuff has happened in between. And now during all that, you've released a box set, Warrior Core 4, We Live by a Code, Attack the Stack, The Door, Seek, Knock, Ask, Winning Impossible Games, like just amazing stuff. But if that isn't enough, you now have these programs, right? Be the Man Challenge, Warrior Wealth, Warrior Week, Warrior Con, Warrior Book, which we love. Then the podcast. I mean, we have 1 and it's a lot of work. You've got 5. I'm making excuses here, right? Date Your Wife, Be the Man, Warrior Week, Warrior Wealth, Warrior on Fire, and then the apps. Like I found the apps on the App Store by accident. It wouldn't let me in. So I obviously need to do something here. I got to step up and pay for that. Warrior Pro, Warrior Book app, Warrior Chat. You've been busy with a lot of stuff. A lot of this has been created recently too. You drive a Lamborghini, but for work on your movement, you're as if you have nothing and you're fighting for your life. How in the hell do you do this, Garrett?
Well, so listen, I was just serving this morning with one of my friends, one of my best friends in San Clemente, and we haven't had much swell the past like 4 weeks, so we're getting a little desperate with the wave count idea. And so we all went out. There was like 60 people padded out. We just basically sat and talked and then pretended like we were catching some closeouts. Like we're sitting there and we were discussing. And this was one of the issues he was facing. He was like, I just can't figure out why I'm so up and down. He's like, can't figure out why I'm so up and down. Why am I feeling so one day, like Tuesday I'm pumped and Wednesday I'm not pumped. Like I'm like the opposite of pumped. I'm like depressed. And I don't want to do anything. And this guy's like successful. He's very successful at what he does, makes great money, takes home $80,000 to $90,000, $100,000 a month, which in some people's world, that's nothing. In other people's world, that's unimaginable, right? I don't know where you are. Like most insurance agents like are not making more than 40, 60K a year. So I'm sure that sounds like a lot to some of you, but like he's sitting in what you would consider to be success financially, but there's just this up and down dilemma. And the dilemma is not about money. It's about the frame through which you see what you do. Like the frame itself looking like at the picture. What is the frame through which you see the purpose of your production, the purpose of what you're building, the purpose of what you're creating? And I just challenged him with a question this morning. I was like, well, just consider two things. One, your life's too loose, right? You got too many leaking holes everywhere. Like you're too loosey-goosey in a relationship with your significant relationship. You're too loosey-goosey over here. I'm not judging. I'm just saying my observation is my friend is like, you have permission to be loose everywhere. And because you have permission to be loose, there's a lack of integrity with yourself. That's not about being right or wrong. There's a lack of integrity with you about what you're actually committed to. Because it's hard to be committed, right? A big thing in Southern California is open relationships. So people are in open relationship. I'm not in an open relationship. That people want to be in an open relationship. That's fantastic, right? To everybody in the Midwest that's sitting inside of like the traditional insurance world, they're going, open what? What is this? Yeah, this basically means you can sleep with other people while you're still married. Makes no sense to me. My wife would be done with me. I'd be done with her. We wouldn't make it. That wouldn't work.
Right.
But there's a lot of people I know who are in relationships like that. And he happens to be in one of those relationships. And for me, I was like, listen, dude, like, what if you just got committed like across the board? What if your frame on your life was just about commitment? And I was like, I'm not saying I'm perfectly committed all the time. I'm not. But what I am is radically more committed now than I was last week. And I'm radically more committed than I was a year ago. And I'm radically more committed than I was 10 years ago. And my commitment levels with myself continue to go up. So the first frame in looking at this is like, the reason to produce or create has to come from some internal purpose that is beyond other people, which is crazy because you're like, wait a sec, business exists to serve other people. I'm only in this for the people. Bullshit, you're only in this for the people. You're in this for yourself. And that's okay to be in this for yourself. Right. The question becomes, how do I reframe myself to see that building something and continuing to build something and continuing to grow something and the commitment to continue to grow something, even when everybody else is contracting, the commitment to keep growing and expanding has to come from an internal storyline about you. Mm-hmm. And my storyline is really simple. Like, I don't build businesses to serve people. That's not my first agenda, right? I don't get involved in that. That's not like, that's secondary. My primary purpose in building and growing is to uncover the next version of myself. I don't try to make more money because of the simple fact. My primary reason is not to make more money. It's not to bring more revenue. It's not to make more profit. It's not to sell more books. It's not to sell more hair products. It's not to sell more supplements. It's not to sell more software. It's not to sell more whole life policies. That's not the purpose. But there's a version of me, for example, an insurance agent that takes home $100,000 a year in commissions, right? That insurance agent is one type of agent. And there's a version of you listening to this that takes home $100,000, right? Then there's a version of you that net takes home $1 million with a trailing commission for the next 7 years on that of $200,000 a year.
Yeah.
Right. That guy might not even hire the current version of you.
Yeah. And it's easy to to not think that exists, right? Like that, oh, that's too hard, or there's all those reasons why you can't do that.
Well, it's because I think a lot of it too, like Craig's like I spent most of my world trying to compare me to everybody else, which was a lose proposition because no matter where you look, somebody is going to be shittier than you, which you find yourself in a position of find yourself as like king of the shitheads. Oh, well, I'm better than this guy. You're like, that's not something you should be bragging about, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look at it, bro. Like that's not when you slam dunk on your daughter that's 7. That's not, I mean, I know you dunked on her hard, bro, but still, like you're 46.
Brought it.
Right. You brought it, right? So then there's the comparison of looking at people who are so much further down the road, right? So a new agent coming in who's trying to get started his first year, he might do $35,000, $40,000 in commissions, and he's feeling like shit because he's around all these producers that are doing $500,000 or $2 million or $3 million a year in commissions. And like they're like, how I suck ass. And you're like, actually for first year, man, you're crushing, you're doing well.
Yeah.
And then, so that's the first thing. And I think that's probably, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but that's what drove me to do everything I've done the last 2 years. And even like the incredible amount of shit we've done in the last 12 months. And then just what we've done, we accelerated through COVID while everyone else slowed down. We went turbo, double down. So that's my first thought.
To be continued.
Hey, Jason.
Yes, Mr. Craig.
That was another awesome episode, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if people want to get a little bit more action and learn how to write 100,000 in premium off of even the worst internet leads, where could they go?
They can go to live.teledudes.com.
Ooh, that sounds exciting. Are we going to be there?
Yes, it's a weekly call that we're doing right now it's live, and it will show you the process. The entire process is super awesome.
I love it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Sign up right now, live.teledudes.com.
Live.teledudes.com. That's live.teledudes.com.
Hey, Craig, there's a new community that we are starting that I cannot wait to tell everybody about. It is our live texting community where you and I are going to answer people's questions and give them free content, right?
Are you kidding me? We get to talk to them?
Yeah, which is awesome, but they have to opt in. They have to text us at 520-214-2219. That's 520-214-2219.
Nice.
Craig, are you going to respond to these texts?
I'm going to respond to them for sure. Live.
I'm into it too. It's going to be awesome. And it's going to be our new texting community where we're going to get back to everybody that we can and drop some crazy content, free content, and free the calculator that you just came up with. That's right. The calling calculator, sales material. I mean, everything for insurance agents. This is it. It's the best texting community out there for insurance agents.
Well, what the heck is that number again? I can't remember it.
It's 520-214-2219. That's 520-214-2219.
I love it. I'm going to text it right now.
520-214-2219.
All right. I'll see you later, Mr. Jason.
Bye, Mr. Craig.
Wait, do they even listen to this on the radio anymore?
I love it. I love it.
Nice.
All right.